The arrival of Catholicism in China is a story interwoven with intellectual exchange, cultural adaptation, and moments of both acceptance and rejection. While early Christian communities, specifically Nestorian Christians, had a presence in China, as far back as the Tang dynasty in the 7th century around 635 AD, marked by the arrival of Alopen and the erection of the Xi'an stele, it was the arrival of the Jesuits in the late 16th century that truly marked the beginning of a sustained Catholic mission and significant cultural interaction. The most prominent figure in this early period was Matteo Ricci, an Italian Jesuit priest who arrived in Macau in 1582 and eventually made his way to Beijing, the imperial capital, by 1601. Ricci's strategic approach to evangelization was revolutionary for its time and remarkably effective. Rather than imposing Western culture and dogma indiscriminately, he immersed himself deeply in Chinese language, customs, and classical texts. He adopted the dignified dress of a Confucian scholar, meticulously studied the foundational Chinese philosophical texts, such as the 4 books and 5 classics, and engaged with the literati on their own intellectual and cultural terms. This sophisticated strategy, known as accommodation or inculturation, was absolutely key to the initial unprecedented success of the Jesuit mission. Ricci and his fellow Jesuits presented Christianity not as an alien religion threatening to dismantle Chinese traditions, but rather as a complementary philosophy that could genuinely enrich and even perfect Confucianism. They meticulously highlighted the moral principles and ethical frameworks shared by both traditions, subtly emphasizing aspects of Catholic doctrine that resonated deeply with pre-existing Chinese thought and values. For instance, they often framed the Christian God in terms that aligned closely with the revered Chinese concept of Shangdi or Tian, the supreme being, or heaven, making the divine more accessible and less foreign. This profound intellectual and cultural engagement allowed the Jesuits to gain an astonishing degree of access to the highest echelons of Chinese society, including the highly exclusive and influential imperial court. They were instrumental in introducing a wealth of Western knowledge to China, encompassing advanced science, sophisticated mathematics, accurate astronomy, and precise cartography, all of which were highly valued and eagerly sought after by the educated elite and the imperial administration. Their demonstrated and sophisticated knowledge in these diverse scientific and technical subjects earned them immense respect and significant influence, which in turn allowed them to establish a crucial and enduring foothold for the Catholic faith. Within the powerful Ming dynasty, the Jesuits even played a pivotal role in reforming the Chinese calendar, a monumental task of immense practical utility and profound symbolic importance as calendar. Accuracy was considered a reflection of imperial legitimacy and cosmic harmony. The impact of Catholicism on Chinese culture during this early Jesuit-led period was undeniably multifaceted and deeply significant. It served as a vital conduit for the introduction of novel ideas, groundbreaking technologies, and innovative methodologies, thereby fostering a vibrant period of cultural exchange that undoubtedly enriched both the East and the West. Chinese scholars and intellectuals were exposed to new paradigms of Western philosophical and scientific thought, while the Jesuits, through their dedicated efforts, gained an invaluable and deeper understanding of a complex, ancient, and highly sophisticated civilization. Catholicism also brought with it a distinct moral framework, a new understanding of the divine, and a different perspective on the human condition, all of which subtly yet profoundly influenced the intellectual and spiritual landscape of the time. However, the comprehensive acceptance of Catholicism into the fabric of Chinese society was not without its profound and enduring challenges. The deeply entrenched Chinese cultural context presented unique and often insurmountable hurdles for full religious integration. Ancestor veneration, a deeply ingrained and fundamental practice central to Chinese filial piety and social structure, became a major and ultimately devastating point of contention. The Jesuits, particularly under Ricci's far-sighted influence, initially adopted a policy of allowing Chinese converts to continue ancestral rites, interpreting them as civil ceremonies of respect, rather than overt religious acts of worship to other deities. This crucial act of accommodation, designed to ease conversion and integration, however, eventually ignited the infamous rites controversy within the broader Catholic Church. Other missionary orders, primarily the Dominicans and Franciscans, fiercely opposed this practice, viewing it as syncretism and a compromise of core Catholic doctrine. The ensuing theological and political battle ultimately reached the Vatican itself, which, after protracted debates, issued condemnations of the practice. This crucial condemnation, arriving in the early 18th century, catastrophically undermined the Jesuits' meticulously crafted strategy and led directly to a severe period of persecution for Catholics in China, significantly hindering the growth and public acceptance of the Church for centuries. Despite these formidable setbacks and periods of intense suppression, Catholicism demonstrated remarkable resilience and perseverance, often continuing to thrive clandestinely in underground communities. The Chinese, for their part, selectively accepted aspects of Catholicism that either aligned harmoniously with their existing worldview or proved demonstrably useful, particularly in the highly esteemed scientific realm. The intellectual rigor and scholarly contributions of the Jesuits to Chinese knowledge undeniably helped to bridge significant cultural divides, even if full. Religious assimilation and widespread public acceptance remained an exceedingly complex and often contentious issue throughout the subsequent centuries. The number of Christians in China today is a subject of much debate, varying wildly, depending on the methodology used for estimation, largely due to the critical distinction between officially recognized state-sanctioned churches and the vast network of unregistered house churches. Projections for 2025 offer a wide and often contradictory range of figures, reflecting this inherent complexity. Several credible sources, prominently citing the work of Purdue University sociology, Professor Fenggang Yang, have estimated that the Protestant population in China alone could potentially reach a staggering 160 million by 2025. If this specific projection were to materialize, China would almost certainly surpass the United States to become the country with the largest Protestant, and indeed the largest overall Christian population globally. Yang's research also bravely predicted that the total Christian population, encompassing both Protestants and Catholics, could astonishingly exceed 247 million by the year 2030, indicating a truly momentous religious shift on a global scale. Other independent estimates, drawing on various data points and qualitative analyses, also suggest a significantly higher number of Christians than official government figures, ranging anywhere from 100 to 130 million adherents across China. Sociologist Rodney Stark, in a 2015 analysis, estimated an impressive annual growth rate of 7% for the Christian population in China, a rate that, if sustained, would have seen 150 million Christians by 2020. Conversely, a more recent 2025 Pew Research Center report, employing a revised and generally stricter methodology that focuses primarily on formal religious affiliation, or zongjiao, as recognized by the state, offers a starkly different and much lower estimate. This report suggests approximately 25 million Christians in China in 2020. This considerably lower figure places China outside the top 10 countries with the largest Christian populations, and indicates that a vast majority, specifically about 90% of the Chinese population, was religiously unaffiliated in 2020, according to their rigorous data collection. These significant discrepancies in reported numbers highlight the profound challenges inherent in accurately quantifying religious adherence in a country as vast and culturally complex as China, especially given the dual nature of religious practice official versus unofficial. Factors contributing to the observed growth of Christianity include, among others, the conversion of highly educated individuals, often experiencing a perceived cultural incongruity or spiritual void between China's rapid modernization, traditional cultural values, and modern technology. A very significant portion of Christians, estimated to be the majority, worships in unregistered house churches, which, by their very nature, are not always captured in official government statistics or surveys focusing on formal religious bodies. Christianity also appears to find particular appeal among urban professionals and entrepreneurs, who may seek not only spiritual fulfillment, but also robust social networks of trust and mutual support within their communities. However, it is absolutely crucial to remember that the Chinese government officially recognizes and regulates only 5 religions: Buddhism, Taoism, Islam, Catholicism, and Protestantism, and all religious activities are strictly monitored and controlled. The ongoing policy of sinicization of religion, actively promoted by the government, explicitly requires all religious groups, including Christian denominations, to align closely with the Communist Party's ideology, national interests, and cultural norms. Consequently, unofficial churches, particularly the burgeoning house church